Hey, thanks for joining me. Travis from the Knife Joker. Tonight coming at you with, well, a quick overview, just kind of an introduction to really one model. Got 4 boxes, but Spyderco ENUFF, the fixed blade 31 plain edge black. So here they are. 4 versions of one model, really. Spyderco ENUFF fixed blade. So probably my first fixed blade review here on the channel. Here they are. Spyderco ENUFF. Yeah, kind of the concept of this knife was to keep maybe a shorter blade length. I'm gonna bring these 4 out, get the sheaths out of the way. Let's see what we're dealing with. Let's see, 2 different blade shapes. 3 different blade shapes. And I believe these were the original 3 blade shapes on the introduction of the ENUFF, which it's been quite a while now. I mean, these didn't just come out or anything. These have been out for a couple of years, I believe. And then Assault ENUFF. So really 4 models, there they are. First model to me that I had in hand was this leaf blade Spyderco ENUFF. Pretty simple little fixed blade. You know, these running about 120 or a little bit less than that. So that's the money scale range we're talking about to compare to other knives and so forth. And I guess I have that large size hand, so there it is in my large size hand. Pretty nice in hand. And let's get a closer look at it. Starting with this leaf blade, that classic kind of Spyderco leaf blade shape. That VG10 coming out of Seki City, Japan. That FRN. Yeah, so VG10, yeah, being pretty stain resistant. Holds the edge pretty well, but not really long, and it's decently easy to sharpen. It's called the best of both worlds by some people. Probably originally designed for horticulture, flowers, and so forth. But yeah, it gets super sharp, and it's easy to sharpen. That black FRN, Spyderco bidirectional texturing, like they've been using on a lot of models. You know, if you're not familiar with it, there's a lot of traction in one direction and smooth, and the opposite on the other side here. So pretty good. So you don't slide off the front or the back of the knife. Works really well. Got that little Spyderco logo there in the middle. So it looks like a classic Spyderco FRN knife. You know, usually they use this flat spot for the clip, and it's only there. Well, can't say only, but yeah, really it's only there to get in easier in and out of your pocket with the clip. If the clip was laying on the bidirectional texturing, it would be harder to get in and out. So you can see on this Police 4, the flat spot is bigger because the knife's longer, but they did put the flat spot on the FRN, and just to show the logo, really. And it looks cool. Like I said, it didn't bring out any other Spyderco FRN knives, but it would look, you know, similar, even though the clip isn't gonna lay on there. That Spyderco jimping, and yeah, now they turn the knife. I mean, well, I was seeing the jimping here, but it actually goes back further in between the scales there, so you get a little bit of jimping even back here in between the scales, kind of hidden in there. Pretty nice, consistent jimping coming out of Japan there. That classic Japan Spyderco. You know, every country looks a little different. That nice satin blade. Pretty thick in hand. It's at 4mm stock, at least starting at 4mm. You know, there's like a distal taper, and it changes as it goes down. You see, holding its thickness all the way to about maybe here. I don't have any calipers with me, but you can see that distal taper this way, and then that flat grind coming down. Just super sharp right out of the box. And there's that Spyderco hole in the fixed blade. They didn't overdo it. It's not gonna weaken the blade, I don't think. But yeah, it's kind of cool if you're a Spyderco guy to have the hole there. Makes, once again, could be a useless thing, this flat spot and this hole, but yet it makes it look like a Spyderco. I mean, I guess the logo could be arguably useless too, but yeah, that makes it a cool Spyderco. Let's check out one of these other blade shapes. That clip point. Once again, same specs. Specs are actually 2.75-inch blade, I do believe. Get out the tape here. I'd like to look at all models, but let's see what we're working with. We'll go back to the leaf-shaped blade. Should be a 2.75-inch blade. It's just under 3 inches, and pretty much all the way across the board. 2.75-inch blade. And reason being for this design, the thought process behind it was a lot of cutting is done closer to hand. So even if you have a big blade, you know, you do a lot of the cutting right here. You could have a huge blade, but you have a lot better leverage. So most of your cutting could be done within the first, inch or 3, even if you have a huge blade. And it just gives you more leverage, more control. So that was kind of the thinking of it is, is 2.75 inches enough? Hence the term, the model name, ENUFF. But is 2.75 inches enough? And then, once again, the blade's this long, if you were using the tip and not just the cutting edge, you wouldn't have as much control, this far away from you as you would with the shorter blade. So that is 2.75 inches enough? For most tasks, I would say yes. And, that's the concept behind it. A nice little EDC blade, enough for almost everything, really. That clip point just gives you a different shape blade. I want to focus in on, these are Torx head screws. So it is a skeletonized knife inside there, saving just a little bit of weight. I'll weigh one up here just in a second. But yeah, it looks like it might be pinned, but no, they can come off. So let's say you want to make some wood scales or whatever, micarta scales, something like that. It's going to be easy to switch your scales out. If you want to make a spear, maybe, I don't know, put this on the end of a long stick or something for whatever reason. Just make it a little easier. Maybe take these scales off and skeletonize inside so you could possibly wrap that around or something. Let's check out this third shape. The original 3, ENUFF, other design, that sheep's foot, fully serrated sheep's foot. And well, if those are cutters, I mean, this is a real cutter here. That saber ground blade, so actually feels a little beefier all the way out. If you hold your knife, it gives you a little, still about 2.75 inches long, but the top is a little longer on the sheep's foot. It's a little thicker blade all the way to the end to lay your thumb on and get, you know, that super leverage that you would need for a hard cutting task. And this being that, well, the sheep's foot, that safety tip, so hopefully you're not stabbing anything by accident. You know, if you had to cut a seat belt possibly, or cut a rope, you know, close to anything. It's more of a safety blade, of course, this sheep's foot, but with that serrated edge and that saber ground, you know, you could really push hard into there and actually be pretty safe, because you're gonna have a lot of control. That short blade. Once again, all three of these so far being VG10, but Spyderco did they couldn't resist. They came out with the yellow H1 rust proof, of course. Spyderco salt, ENUFF salt. So just a great, you know, offshore diving knife, boat knife, all around safety knife by the water, you know, any kind of water action. It's just gonna, my H1 knives just speak from my experience. Yeah, they look brand new for a long time. You know, you might get minor scratching, but they just don't rust. So you're gonna have this beautiful knife forever, no matter what you do by the salt or the sea, the water or the food. But there they are, the 4 Spyderco ENUFF. You know, I'll show that sheath. These coming with that. All 4 coming with really the same sheath, that injection molded polymer sheath. So just stick the blade in there, hit that skinny spot, and it holds in. Holds in real well. This one actually has no rattling at all. It seems like, you know, sometimes they rattle a little bit. See if I can get this in there on camera without stabbing myself. But yeah, you can see it doesn't go in easily. Give a little push there. Well, a little push there, and it goes right in. But kind of a thumb ramp there to push off when you want to get out. Pretty easy. I like that. And no rattle again. And I have to admit, I have this one here already, my own. And, oh, there you go. Seemed like it rattled a little bit. Well, it's not a super stealth fixed blade. But, you know, when I'm walking around, it doesn't rattle too much every once in a while. Maybe these others to rattle. No, maybe mine's just worn a little bit. It's possible. These brand new ones, you see no rattle right now. I just kind of show you maybe how to carry one of these. I mean, yeah, the fixed blade, obviously. Carry it however you want. Comes with this Spyderco G-clip. Pretty easy to use. Just slips right over your belt. So, you know, if you wanted to go with that vertical carry, you can slip it right over your belt without taking your belt off. And it'll hook in to where you'll be hooked in real well. Got that hook on the bottom. You don't necessarily have to push off. You could pull from here. It's not going anywhere. Or, you know, you can push off, but really there's no reason to with that. Spyderco G-clip works well. It's a little bit hard to get off, but it's possible. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to get off. Just take it off like this. But point being, Spyderco G-clip, it does lock in well, easy to put on, and you can get it off. Of course, you can, that's 90 degrees or even 45 degrees reversible, so you go with that horizontal carry, possibly, wherever you want, just like most any fixed blade sheath. But this Spyderco G-clip makes it real easy to do. Go with that carry like this. On my personal one, I put the small tech lock on there. Same sheath. All these different holes makes it just so easy. You could take this completely off and put that in your backpack if you want, but the small tech lock, once again, here's that Spyderco ENUFF. Go with that little thumb ramp push off. I like that little thumb ramp there on the sheath. So really, that's them. The 4 Spyderco ENUFF. Still available. Still in the main production after a couple years. So I've really enjoyed mine. Hopefully you guys will check one of these out, possibly enjoy one for yourself. If you do want to see more about them, you can check them out at theknifejoker.com. If you do like the channel, like the video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you for the next video. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm just going to add on there little weight action. I never got the weight on one of these, so it's pretty important. It's got to be probably about 4 ounces as far as I can tell, but let's check it out. 3.83 ounces for these sheep's foot. Probably they're all very close. I don't think it's going to matter too much. Just a little bit lighter on the clip point. So yeah, just under 4 ounces. Once again, thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.